Hello, sweeties, and good morning. Hope everyone's doing good and y'all sitting there with your coffee. Let's let's start this Sunday off right. And I have a fantastic video. Let me just pull this up. Because what's better to start this day off than puppies? Puppies being ridiculously adorable. Let's start that over. Yep, there is no level I won't stoop to bring you guys something uplifting, and let's rise and shine together, shall we? Let's take a look at the chat. We've got Zachara 315. Good morning, darling. And he says, good morning, Mama Bear and chat. And everyone's favorite pundit, Steve Kenobi, watching from bed like a proper pervert. Attaboy. And of course, Streambot. Good morning, Streambot. And stunning and brave Megatron. Good morning, Megatron. He says, good morning, Mama. Again, I hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic today. Because I know for a lot of us, it was a rough week. Like where I am, they announced that we were going back into a full hardcore lockdown, and that hit a lot of people differently. But I don't know, for me there's a semi-comfort in it. And no words to describe it or explain why. It's just things started falling in place mentally last week and over the weekend. I know I seemed just completely off on Thursday, and my brain, something happened earlier in the day, and honestly, it took me all day for my brain to catch up. It was one of those moments that, I'm sure we've all had. But once everything caught up, things started falling in place, things started making sense, and I feel lighter. I think that's the best word I could use to describe. Because, like I said, so many things that have been weighing heavy on my mind suddenly had an answer. And I feel like, in a way, like myself, in a way I haven't felt in quite a while. So this is definitely a fantastic rise and shine for me. Let's start the week off right. And Steeg says lockdowns don't bother me at all. Book lovers have a huge advantage. And honestly, I will agree with you there. And I know a lot of people, or there are a bunch of people who think down upon introverts or think they're, weirdos hanging in the closet. Oh, in fact, my niece describes it so beautifully, and I hope I can do it justice. Extroverts are. She has this fantastic phone analogy, and I wish my sister would pop in. But yeah, it's just all the difference between introverts and extroverts is just how we get our energy. Extroverts thrive on the crowd. You know, they're the one. She has, like I said, she has this fantastic phone analogy. I can never remember what the extroverts are, but the introverts are like your standard cell phone. You know, you take them out, they're good for a while, but eventually you have to take them back home and let them recharge on their own. You know, nice and peace and quiet, and that's all it is. You know, I'm an introvert in a family of extroverts. And that alone has been a huge learning curve. Like I admit, I found crowds overwhelming, and that's probably why lockdown doesn't hit me like it does a lot of my friends and a lot of people I love, because this is just the world catching up with how I lean naturally. Things are a little slower, a little quieter. You know, not so much of a drive to go out. Let's see. Megatron says, adding new clips to my StreamYards. Like I said, I'd love, in fact, that's probably great. I'd love to get to the point where I could do the monthly monthly StreamYards. Because there are so many clips I'd love to do. And honestly, most of them would probably be from the community itself. Keely Chow, good morning, darling. Says, hey, everybody, and good morning. What's going on? Well, it is Sunday morning, and it is time to rise and shine. I remember Batman's an introvert, and he's pretty badass. Exactly. And granted, like, of course, there are weirdo introverts, as there are, with every, group of people. We all have our weirdos. But really, I'm just, introverts like myself are just the people that, we interact better from a distance. And that's really, really nothing more weird than that. But let's take a look at some Good News Network, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite websites. And for anyone that's interested, I did pop on from the Good News Network. In fact, I will probably, in a moment, I will drop the whole Good News Network link over. But, one other thing I wanted to touch on. Because DMX hit everyone sideways. And it's been a fun weekend. But I was watching Mark with a C's video, his latest video this morning. And I did link it in the description because he has a message in there in true gospel fashion that is just something that really needs to be listened to and shared out. Trying not to sneeze. That's better. the button. I'm on it. Gotta love allergy season. Here. I'm hoping when I share, I am still relatively clear. Let me know in the chat. I can see it. I have my phone next to me. People in 108 countries are joining forces to do good on Good Deeds Day, April 11th. And I am all in favor of Good Deeds Day, which is today. Over 1 million people from over 100 countries will take part in Sunday in International Good Deeds Day. Launched 15 years ago in Israel as a small local event, the true spirit of dreaming big and getting things done has helped the project expand to include participants in 108 countries unifying for a day of good. Every year on April 11th, enthusiasm grows, and this year's events will center around thousands of projects dedicated to bettering society, all under the 2021 theme of reconnecting. Founder Sherry Arison says that despite the pandemic, doing good and being good is always possible at any time and under any circumstance. It's heartwarming to see the outpour of goodwill and acts of loving kindness that people do, helping others in any way possible at such a time, making food baskets for those in need, entertaining the elderly, and so many other activities filled with creative ideas that benefit others and spreading the good together. The 63-year-old American-born Israeli businesswoman and philanthropist is Israel's wealthiest woman. She is the owner of Arison Investments, which comprises several companies. She heads up the Ted Arison Family Foundation as the daughter of the charity organization's namesake that also co-founded Norwegian Cruise Lines. These are some of the activities that are organized according to the media release. In the U.S., people in 50 states will participate in partnering with Points of Light, IAVE, Habitat for Humanity, and other organizations. A virtual chess and leadership training will be held for risk youth. In Costa Rica, their 8th year of taking part, a whole month of good deeds are planned, from donating personal kits to hundreds of hospitalized people to concerts, blood drives, and an NGO festival that highlighting ways to do good year-round. In Panama, 24 hours of good deeds are planned, including building community gardens, donating school supplies, and giving haircuts at homeless shelters. And in the UK, hundreds will take part in hands-on projects across London all month, allowing people to choose their way to do good. One way you can take part immediately is to use the group's hashtag Faming Challenge. Shift from shaming to faming by using social media to post kind words, compliments, and praise. Try highlight the good in letting go of the bad for an entire week. I believe that if people will think good, speak good, and do good, the circles of goodness will grow in the world, says Arison. And you know what? Hallelujah, girl. I absolutely love that. I want to read that again. I believe that if people will think good, speak good, and do good, the circles of goodness will grow in the world. And I absolutely love that. And that does actually make me think of something from growing up. Like my sister, every year, back when we still had all of those fun, you know, how some coffee shops used to do a buy 12 coffees, get one free, and you get this little card that you could get stamped on. And that would wind up being like 4 over the time. Like 4 free coffees if you filled up the card. Well, my sister would save up her free coffees. And she would never... Okay. I'll just drop it in here for now. Paste. That's Good News Network. What she would do is she would save up her free coffees over the space of a month or a couple of months. And once December rolled around, she would go into, in this case it was Second Cup, it was the brand of coffee shop. She would go in because she knew the barista there. I know it's not barista for Second Cup, but same idea. And she would get herself a coffee, maybe a nibble, and she would turn in her free coffees and pay for however, and use her free coffees to pay for the next X number of people who wanted a coffee. So people would show up, say, order a coffee, and they would find out that it's already paid for. And it was so important to her that she do this, especially around Christmas, in that space before Christmas, where everyone is rushing around and feeling grumpy. And we all know that as we get close to Christmas, more and more you see the only Christmas spirit is the one that can be bought at the liquor store. So you'd see these people coming in feeling absolutely miserable to order their coffee, and the shift that would happen on their face when they realized someone had just done that. And it seems like such a small thing, but it meant the world to a lot of people that someone was willing to do a little bit of good for a complete stranger. And I've always loved that. Good morning, 24/7 Fusion Media. He says, one of my most loved individuals is streaming right now, and I didn't know. Good morning, pretty lady. Good morning to you, Poppy. Yeah, every Sunday, 10:30 Eastern, I like to do a Rise and Shine stream, and I'm really hoping this starts to take off. But at the very least, even if it's just me and my loyal followers like Keely Chow and Megatron, and of course my fellow bear, if that's all it is for a good while, I am fine with it. Little things, little steps to brighten the world. And Snortopupus Q Burr says, hello humans and other critters. Good morning, bear. I haven't found out recently, and I feel almost semi-ashamed to admit this. I found out that there was a Wonder Woman movie that I completely missed. So I will be watching that now. That's Wonder Woman Bloodlines. I guess the past while has been just so crazy. I completely missed it. But I'll be watching that later and doing a review on it. Who we got here? We got the Jason Lee Tucker statement. Good morning, darling. Absolutely. Not everything needs to be huge thing to be fun. Phrasing, I know. Yeah. Well said. Well said. And more often, It's not the big things. I know, phrasing. We'll set aside all that pause stuff for now. It's not so much the big stuff that can mean the world to people as much as you would think it would be the big acts. It would. Sometimes it's just showing up to a friend's with coffee in hand when you know they're having a rough day. Or just little things. Like, granted, I will always be grateful for the community that stepped up and helped me get back on my feet and helped me get the laptop that I'm sitting on right now. And all of you have inspired me to be better. And just, I thank everyone for sticking with me through this rough run. But, yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it. I feel absolutely light and fantastic. And I hope I can help lighten up other people's worlds too. Yeah, correct. You rammed the point home. I gotta love you and your puns. And popping back over to Good News Network. Let me see. Oh, I love that. Oh, it is apparently International Dark Sky Week. Let's go with that one. And again, I'm hoping that I am clear when I do the share screen, because I know it hasn't always been clear. All right. For International Dark Sky Week, here are some city-adjacent locations for viewing celestial wonders. And it is officially International Dark Sky Week, officially the week of the new moon, which means there is no better time to look up and seek out shimmering constellations, planets, meteors. International Dark Sky Week was launched in 2003 by, fittingly enough, the International Dark Sky Association, an Arizona-based nonprofit that works to preserve and protect the nighttime environment and our heritage of dark skies through quality outdoor lighting. Best known for giving hard-won dark sky designations to public lands and even urban areas around the globe, check out this interactive map from the IDA to see where the dark sky site near you. And I will post this in the chat. Now, I don't know if they will cover outside of the States. Let me see, we've got Los Angeles, California is Joshua Tree National Park, San Antonio, Texas, the Devils River State Natural Area, Washington, D.C., Natural Bridge State Park. Thank you, dear. Yeah, it seems to be something that is struggling with, but let's pop that in. Yeah, robot again. Is that better? Yeah. Hopefully that's better now. I've got to figure out why it keeps doing that. Yep, the Borg are taking over. Hopefully that should be better. Sounding good. Thank you, Ginger Ninja. My voice is back to normal now. All right, wonderful. Yeah, I need to figure out why it keeps doing that, and eventually I will. But yeah, I am all for the Dark Sky Project. For me, that was one of those hidden blessings of the Great Blackout. Because I was living downtown core adjacent at the time. And where I was living, just out of coincidence, happened to be, I don't know, it was on, must have been on two grids or something. Because I never had a blackout the entire time I was there. So when it, the power went out, honestly, me and my roommate, we thought we had blown a circuit or something. Which happened a lot in that apartment. So she proceeded to go and went to go contact the super. And as soon as she stepped out in the hall and realized it was dark in the hallway too, that's when we realized there was an issue. We called around to family and found out it was everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And my absolute adorable mom, when we called her and made sure she was okay, called and asked her, "Are you okay, Mom?" She's like, "No, I can't figure out how to make coffee." And it was, she did eventually figure it out. But now, as being a parent and somebody who lives on coffee, I still find the light and humor in that. But yeah, that I get it too. But that whole blackout that night, there was a huge meteor shower, and being so close to the core, we never would have seen it otherwise because of all of the light pollution. But it was such a fantastic moment to sit out on the front porch of my building with all of the neighbors on the street as we all sat there barbecuing whatever meats and stuff were in our fridge and freezer, having a little block party underneath a meteor shower. And that, again, that was one of those absolutely fantastic moments. But everyone did come for the same thing. Excuse me. Let's see, sound better now? Sound like I do when my vocal processor is malfunctioning. Yeah. I will have to figure that out eventually. I will have to figure that out, how to fix that. Good morning, Dastardly. And he'll chat. This is one of my absolutely fantastic co-hosts for later on today on Makini 90s channel, where we do draw streams, and again, fellow Canadian, absolutely fantastic person. But reading out what people are proud of that dropped in my pinned tweet, and of course, the pinned tweet is always going to be ongoing. I want to hear stuff that you're proud of. And I don't care if you think it would sound silly to anyone. I've been there. I've had those moments where just getting up and having a shower takes everything. I've been there. So if we need, let's celebrate. Celebrate small stuff. Did you do the dishes before bed? Hallelujah. Did you see a new movie that you like? What's the stuff that you're proud of? And those who dropped it into my pinned tweet on Twitter, Jeff W., the rookie critic, said, pizza's always good. Cookies are typically go-tos. And anyone that knows Rookie is he will regularly tag myself and a lot of the other females with his cookie teases because of all the cookies that he makes at his work. And he is an absolute sweetheart and delight for the community. Tommy Connolly said, I'm alive. That's depressing. That's what he said, not me. I have people like in my like that. It makes me want to be better. Man, that's all I got. And you know what? That's perfect. Exactly what I said to him. If what you're doing is celebrating being alive, then let's celebrate that. Like I said, I've had those dark moments. I've had those times. You know, when as parents, we raise up our kids and we do so many things, and we get to the point, like when we're potty training, we'll celebrate a poop. You know, we'll celebrate a successful potty. And it sounds absolutely cracked, but I remember when my dad struggled with kidney disease. And it got to the point that we would celebrate when he was able to do that on his own. We literally celebrated it. Oh. Okay, let's see. We got, after 2 late night, early morning stream views in a row, I'm proud that I was able to wake up. You know what? I get that. I really get that. And just a note, it's Thomas Gilkey's birthday on the 24th. Absolutely. That is definitely something to celebrate too. He is such a wonderful and supportive individual in our community. Completely unrelated, but I'm just going to drop this in here for the sake of, because at some point I am hoping to get a new mic. But and again, Rookie Critic also posted dogs, just dogs in general. And I will mirror that with dogs. I mean, there's one that lives across the hall. This sweet little bulldog that is always happy to see me. And you know what? The feeling is definitely more than mutual because he is such a sweet little individual. and even actually, and I worked at a pet store, and that was one of my favorite places to work because people would bring in their dogs, and there was this one couple that had a pair of bulldogs. And when as soon as they got the second bulldog, who was a brand new puppy, they came in to show me, and to get a little collar and all of that for her. And I looked at them, and their dog was Mac. Their older bulldog was Mac, and as soon as they showed me off the little bulldog and let me hold her, and she was, like I said, so sweet. I looked at them and said, so what's her name? They went, Cheeseburger. I'm like, I love it. Mac and Cheeseburger. They were so two of my favorite doggies. But you know what? I'm also grateful for my cats. I've always has been. And even as I speak right now, I've got one curled up at my feet. I'm the only one she'll curl up with, but the unconditional love that comes from pets, that comes from the furry members of our family. It's just something I could not imagine my life without, nor would I want to. You know what? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Especially when you've seen someone struggling with it for a long time. Grateful for my fellow Decepticons. Hallelujah. Eventually we should figure out something to drop in the chat to celebrate these things. And I have one more thing from that was put in the linked tweet. And that's from Friendly Cactus. And he simply says, "My son." And that is something I know every parent, every aunt and uncle, anyone who's had a little one, be a part of their heart, will completely understand. I am grateful for my daughter, for my nieces, and my nephew, especially in this past week. I mean, 5 going on 6 years ago when we moved in here, my nephew said to me, his birthday was coming up while I was house hunting, looking for an apartment for the two of us. And his mom said to him, "Well, you know, she might not be able to afford a big gift." And you know what he said? "All I want for my birthday is for her to find a home, and preferably someplace close." And we did. And it came through shortly after his birthday. And that's all he wanted for his birthday that year. That was so sweet. My nephew and my nieces have been helping keep my daughter entertained, and they've all been just playing Roblox together. And I honestly, I do as well. Because, it's something that they all seem to enjoy. Let's see. I'll be inspected by a friend's cat later when we gather for Sunday geekery. That guaranteed. Anytime I go over to somebody's house, their pet will come over to me. Even if the pet doesn't like other human beings. It's actually the reason why I won't go camping, because I know animals are drawn to me. And like if I sleep over at somebody's house, guaranteed every animal will wind up sleeping around me. But that's why I won't go camping, because I'm like fairly confident that I will wake up to find a wolf or a cougar or something curled up outside my tent. And then there rises the problem of, well, I can't get to my coffee. No, rather not go through that. Yes. Those positive thoughts do pay off. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Even when you're not sure. Yeah. Even when you're not sure if it will, having that positive thought. course animals are drawn to you, Mads. Look at Makani, Bruce, and myself. I meant actual animals. Though I do adore you guys. But I am currently in the process of trying to hunt down an optometrist, hoping to find one. And like I said, I have a video to watch, and I've got I've got a movie to watch, and a video to do for my other channel. I'm going to do my first video for the doll channel. So awesome. Very excited about that. And that seems to be everything. So if you guys are catching this on the replay, always like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're new here. And please, please, please go to my Twitter. Link is in the description. And drop into the pinned tweet what you're proud of. What can we celebrate? Let's make this a thing. Let's rise and shine together. This cat loves the cloth grocery bag I used to bring my dice and other game essentials. She climbs inside it and watches us play. I have so many pictures of my cat curled up in my purse. Because they love those little comfortable zones, and you know what? I totally understand. Yep. If I fits, I sits. Rule of cat life. Pretty much rule of my life, too. If it's not made for sits, why is it made of warm or fuzzy? Fuzzy is also a great thing in my world for both me and the cats. But I don't know if you guys can hear. The kids in the hallway are being completely active. So, I will wish you guys a happy Sunday. And please, please, please do pop in to Makani 90s channel. 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, where we celebrate aerodynamics and do a fantastic artist spotlight stream. And we hang out and just do our thing. I'd be willing to tackle that challenge. Just saying. Yeah. Have a wonderful day and a fantastic week. Love y'all.